Hi again. Another book for the gun bookshelf. And I've previously reviewed a book by Louis Awerbuck, which was a compilation of his writings on a lot of the problem solving in an armed confrontation. It was a really interesting book. As I mentioned in that review, I did a class with Louis in Arizona, uh, and he used his unique targets, and it was a really interesting class. And I came away with the impression that he was a really smart instructor, who came at this subject from a different angle to most, and I certainly got a lot from just a half a day class. So today I want to look at his other book, or one of his other books, which is in my library, and it's this one on the defensive shotgun, techniques and tactics. And it says the purpose of this book is twofold: to cut through the maze of myths concerning the shotgun and its attendant ballistic effects, and to provide the reader with a basis for understanding how to use the weapon in its defensive mold. And the book does achieve that. One of the things, when he talks about shotgun ammunition, for example, he makes the important point that it's all a variable. It depends on the brand of weapon you're using. Are you using a Remington, are you using a Mossberg, are you using a Winchester, and so on? The brand of ammunition and the choke. So he puts a lot of diagrams of targets fired the same distance with different variations on that, and shows the effect. So you can never just say that a shotgun will fire into a certain target area at a certain distance. So that's quite an important point, and it's part of what he talks about with the myths and so on. I don't think he actually comes down hard on what ammunition he actually recommends as regards ammunition size. A lot of American instructors recommend double up buck, which is in the UK is SG, which is 9.33 size pellets. So basically that load is being delivered in a single hit. It's like really being hit by almost 38 revolver rounds at once, simultaneously. And the effect, one of the reasons the shotgun has been so popular, it does have pretty decent stopping power, if that does exist. And the ballistic effect is determined by the distance. So at very close range, the shot charge hits as a homogeneous unit, and the effect is what Masayub calls the rat hole effect. It's just a massive wound, one single massive wound. As the distance opens up, then you get what's called a saturation effect, where numerous organs, blood vessels and nerves are hit by the buckshot pellets, and you get an overload effect. So that's one of the reasons why the distance is so important. And in some ways, at very, very, very close range, if you're going to have that homogeneous rat hole, it doesn't really matter what load you're using. It's only as you go a bit further that it matters. And of course we can never guarantee that the range that you're going to be engaging at. Colonel Cooper really was of the opinion that the slug is the round for a shotgun, that you just aim it, using the shotgun should have sights, and you aim it, and you know, .72 caliber massive slug hitting the guy, whether it's a close range, which will work, but it will also give you the option of longer range, because a shotgun tends to, and again the ballistic charts in this book show that it's not set in stone, but the pattern tends to spread roughly an inch per yard. So to keep all your load in a 10-inch area on a human torso, you should be shooting within 10 yards really. Anything over that, then the shot's going to spread beyond the target, and you've got to consider the fact that the backstop and so on, and what else you're going to be hitting. To a great extent, the shotgun, which was very, very popular in law enforcement, has been replaced by the patrol carbine, but it's still an outstanding weapon. And Louis does a really good job of going through all the things. So some of the points he's talking about is how to load the weapon, how to keep it loaded, multiple targets, how to mount the weapon, obviously shooting on the move, and tactics. But another important point is weapon retention, because with a long gun, if a guy can grab outside of your hands, he's got the leverage advantage. So weapon retention is a very, very important point. I always liked doing shotgun shooting, and I put a picture at the start of this that was taken in South Africa on a course, and it was to demonstrate just what a shotgun does. What I used to do sometimes, if I was teaching civilians who no firearms experience at all, I would put a bank of 3 targets up, and I would stand at about 5 yards, and I'd say to them, how many of these targets do you think I'll hit with this shotgun? And most people would think it would spread and hit all 3 because of movies and TV, but then at that distance when you show, you know, it's all in the center zone of the middle target. So that's what that kind of photograph was about. So the book, there's just one point I'll make. Since this book was written, and Louis is no longer with us, unfortunately, passed away, there are new ammunition types, and on a trip to America I was shown some of them, and they are quite impressive. Some of the tactical loads and things like that, their accuracy has come on quite a lot. But there's still a lot of good information in this book, and I recommend it.